Hi everyone, it's Gene Calderon here with Gene Calderon Apologetics Ministries, coming to you today with another teaching day in our teaching series as we do different theme days for every day of the week. Today being Tuesday, we're going to focus on what we call Tuesday equals Truth Day. And on these days, we look specifically at the Gospels to see whether or not we can put any reliability in the manuscripts that we have as far as the reliability of the scriptures and what they say, what they teach, did it all actually happen? Because there's a lot of controversy, there's a lot of skepticism out there sometimes when dealing with ancient documents, especially when it comes to biblical documents. I don't know why, but there's an extra harsh criticism when it comes to the biblical doctrines or documents. And so when we talk about those, we understand that the New Testament is written in mostly Greek. And with the similarities in many of the Greek letters and how they are written and the primitive conditions that they were worked under in order to be able to make copies by the scribes, it seems like copying mistakes would definitely be found in some of those biblical manuscripts. In fact, there are literally tens of thousands of variations in the manuscripts that we have. But does that mean we can't trust them? Well, as careful as scribes were in being able to create the copies that they were making on, yes, some errors or some variations did creep in, but we need to understand exactly what those variations or what we might call errors actually were. For instance, from the time it took for the scribe to look at the text and then to write it down, the words and the orders may have been shifted. I mean, maybe the words were backwards, or maybe they were put in a different order. And so he may have all of the right words in that sentence, but just in the wrong order. Now, something about writing in ancient Greek. It's not like writing in English, because while we write in English, dog bites man, it would be completely different and wrong if we say man bites dog, right? Completely different sentence. But in the Greek, one word is designated as the subject, and no matter where it is placed in the sentence. And so we know who is being talked about as the subject. We know what the verb is. We know the tense or any adverbs or adjectives. Those are all designated, even if they're not placed in the same order. And so again, ancient Greek is very different than modern English. And we have to understand that as scribes are writing these and as scholars are reading them, there's no confusion as to what the sentence is actually saying. And so the variations usually have no effect on the sentence itself. Now, these differences tend to be very minor, and they have no effect on any of the doctrinal beliefs. Even if we did find sentences that were wrong or placed in order, the doctrinal foundation of Christianity has never been in question. In all actuality, the New Testament has not only survived in the fact that it has more manuscripts than any other ancient book in history, it's actually survived in a pure form to the originals that we can find. As far as comparing all the copies and putting it together, it's actually held up better than any other major historical book in history. Some have predicted up to 99.5% pure to the originals. That's a pretty high percentage, even as a guesstimate. Some are a little bit more lenient and they may say 95% accurate. Still, that is a huge number when considering reading the Gospels or the New Testament as a whole to understand we have that much accuracy compared to the original manuscripts to what we have in our hands today. So I hope that helps you in the confidence in knowing what we read today is actually what was written. Now, you might have some different ideas about translations, different translations portraying the words in different ways, but still the meaning has not changed. The doctrines have not changed. We can talk about translations another time, but to understand that those translations that we have are still based off of the original copies of the manuscripts, the original manuscripts that we still have very much intact in the original language and able to look at and decipher and come to a clarity about what we're reading. So I hope this helps you. This Tuesday equals Truth Day. Again, I'm Gene Calderon with Gene Calderon Apologetics Ministries, serving with Ratio Christi at Purdue University Northwest, also serving at my home church in Freedom Church in East Chicago, Indiana, teaching Bible studies, giving presentations whenever possible. I have been invited to some churches coming up. So again, if your church or church group is interested in hearing more about apologetics, feel free to reach out to me, contact me. We'd love to be able to set something up and serve in your community as well. God bless you, and thanks so much for watching.